Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Alessi, the founder of Strength Genesis, and today I want to talk to you about Australian macadamia nut oil. When I look at macadamia nut oil, it's the first supplement or the first food that really got me into this industry. So a little bit of a backstory. I read The 4 Hour Body by Tim Ferriss, I don't know, 8 years ago, 9 years ago or so. And in the book, he referred to something as the new olive oil. He was talking about macadamia nut oil. And what I loved about reading it is the fact that olive oil has been around for centuries, and we know that olive oil is good. It's very heart healthy. In fact, the Romans and even the Greeks before that knew it was because of its high profile of omega-3 fatty acids, which are super cardiac and heart protective, but at the same time, you could even see it visibly for your skin, your hair, and your nails. Now, if you fast forward, if you look at something like macadamia nut oil, it has all of those properties that olive oil does, but in a higher quantity, in droves. In fact, it has 11 times the amount of omega-3 properties that extra virgin olive oil has, and we all know that extra virgin olive oil is good. This is even better. So when you talk about the new olive oil, it really intrigued me. So about 8 years ago, I looked for it, I searched for it, and when you look at macadamia nut oil, it really comes from three different places that you can get it from for its origin. Number one is Australia, number two is South Africa, and number three is Hawaii. And over the years, I have tried all of them. And there are some pros and cons to each of them. The South African one by far and away tastes burnt. The taste isn't that good. The one from Hawaii tastes a little bit watery and weak. It tastes a little bit more like it's been diluted. The macadamia nut oil had the highest taste profile. It also had the highest omega-3 profile as well. In terms of offering it to my clients, and by the way, the clientele that I work with, either in private personal training or semi-private personal training, are between the ages of 45 to 65, some of them up to 75 and 85 years old, and for the most part, these people are looking for good experiences. They want good foods. They're going to cook. They want to dip different vegetables and even bread sometimes in olive oil or some type of dipping oil. And on top of it, they want to cook. And when you look at cooking, especially things like eggs or vegetables or even meat, if you're sauteing it in a pan, boy, I have to tell you, this cooks up the best. So in terms of a client experience, it's been super high and very popular amongst my clientele. Now, over the years of selling and offering macadamia nut oil, it's been outrageously popular. And one of the reasons why it's outrageously popular is when people taste it, they do enjoy the taste. It tastes buttery. It tastes nutty and buttery. And because of that, I think they like it. So if you've ever cooked before in olive oil, and most people have, olive oil is fine, but it's not an awesome cooking oil when it comes to taste. And even more important than just taste, and taste is important to a lot of people, is how it performs. Every oil, every fat has a smoke point or a flash point. And that's the temperature in which if you exceed it, it starts breaking down, and then it can even become carcinogenic. You never want to consume a black oil. So if you've ever made like eggs in a pan before and it got too hot or you left it on too long, you would notice that the pan started turning black or your egg whites started getting black. It looked like a charring formation. What that's becoming is the fact that the oil itself had burnt and it lost all of the good omega properties, so at that point it's not beneficial. But even on the flip side of it, it also can be harmful, it can be carcinogenic. So you never want to consume a burnt oil. The flash point or smoke point of olive oil is 350 degrees. The smoke point of macadamia nut oil is registered at 515 degrees. I've even tested it at over 620 degrees before and it still hasn't broken down. So when it comes to performing at ultra high temperatures, that's very versatile. Once again, whether you're cooking eggs or whether you're cooking vegetables or even meat, you could saute meat in a pan. I even spray it on the grill, which is something you would never do with olive oil when I'm putting chicken on the grill just so it doesn't stick. So it performs at ultra high temperatures. It's got that wonderful buttery taste. And once again, the omega-3 profile is very rich and super high, second to only the cold processed fish oil. Now, the reason why this is important, especially as the owner or general manager of a facility, when you're working with a clientele, especially an older clientele, you're not working with kids in their 20s and even early 30s, is the fact that it's excellent for their lifestyle and their health. See, a lot of people are very concerned about their heart. They're very concerned about triglycerides. They're very concerned about their blood sugar. This is something that supports it. Once again, think of it like olive oil tenfold, and then you can really see the difference. So it's super important for your clientele in terms of their overall health, and we do know that they'll enjoy the taste. Now, also though, they love the lifestyle of cooking. They want to do things. Maybe it's only on the weekends, maybe it's just occasionally, but they grew up during a generation in which they did cook, and they want these things that they could cook with. They're looking for those experiences as well. This is something that's very unique to them. They can't just go to Sam's Club or BJ's or Walmart and easily pick up something like this. In fact, it's not available there. It's something that's boutique, it's something that's unique, and it's something that you're offering it to them to help improve their lives. In terms of how I sell this in studio to my clientele, very straightforward. In fact, I take a multifaceted approach. When I'm doing a consultation with my clientele, I oftentimes tell them of some amazing cooking oil such as macadamia nut oil. Now, it's not uncommon that they've never heard of it before, and I'll introduce it just as a better for you olive oil. And I'll say if you've never cooked with it before, you have to try cooking with it because it's very heart healthy, buttery tasting, and high heat stable, and that alone usually gets them. But then on top of that, about once every 10 days to 14 days or so, I will send them out an autoresponder email telling them about different supplements that I think will help improve their lifestyle. And the first one that I start with is macadamia nut oil. Lastly, when it comes to a display, in fact, you could even see it behind me, macadamia nut oil is front and center. In fact, I even call it liquid gold because it's got that goldish color to it. Oftentimes when they're walking by it, they'll even say, I'm running a little bit low on macadamia nut oil, and or we'll do different auto refill packages for our clients at a time, saying, hey, it's been 5 weeks or so since you've had some. Can we set some aside for you? And you can just pick it up and sign it out to your account. Lastly, when it comes to macadamia nut oil, it has a super high reorder rate. People that have it before enjoy it, and they want to order it again and again. And also, they love giving it as gifts. It could be a birthday party, it could be for holidays, it could be for whatever. They love giving it away because they know it's unique and they know it's going to be beneficial and helpful to somebody. Honestly, I really don't think you're going to have too much trouble selling macadamia nut oil to your clients once they understand what it is, how it benefits them, how important it is about that high heat stable cooking, and lastly, the taste of it will get them by itself. As always, if you have any questions on any aspects of supplements, especially macadamia nut oil, please reach out to us because I want to make sure that you have the right information to help you to be successful.